Hello folks, today I've got this watch to show you. It's a lovely little green gem here for you today. This is a Pagani Design PD 1766. As usual with these Chinese Homage watches, I bought this watch from AliExpress. The first surprise for anyone who thought they'd clicked on a video showing the donor design is the price. This watch cost me £42.58 advertised, plus their fees for UK delivery, so £50.73. That's not only a tiny fraction of what the watch looks like it costs, but it's also a really good price for an all-steel analogue chronograph of any description, especially when compared to the lower spec offerings available in UK retail outlets. Check a load of these ones. It's an even better price when you look at what's on offer here. This is a sapphire domed crystal. That means for the uninitiated that you ain't going to scratch this. This is essentially, to all intents and purposes, scratch proof. You will scratch the stainless steel bezel here before you scratch that crystal, so that's a good thing. The watch is a Japanese movement from Seiko, the Seiko VK64 Mecha Quartz. It also claims 100 meters of water resistance. On the screw-in case back, I'm not in a position to test this, but if it's true, it's all anybody really needs. I've done a video on the real spec for a dive watch, and I can assure you that 100 meters is a long way down, far further than you're going. Looking at the bracelet here, it's got solid steel links. That's another thing that is unheard of at this price, at least in the UK retail market. And it has solid curved female end links fitted to the versatile 20mm lug width. The dial in this example is emerald green sunburst with a black minute track. The subdials at 9 and 3 o'clocks respectively show the expired minutes for the chronograph and the hour of the day. Not a very useful function, I think most people find, but the Pagani are limited with the functions of the donor movement, and that's how the VK64 is set up. It doesn't follow the function set of the donor design. It has no date window at 6 o'clock, and the subdials have different functions. Now the dimensions of the watch. The watch weighs in at 138 grams, sized for my 7 and a smidgen sized wrist. I think I took 3 links out to get it to the correct fit for me, and that'll give you some idea depending on your own wrist size. The case diameter measured between the protruding edges of the bezel here is 40mm. But watch out, because these pushers are quite long, so it wears a little bit bigger than a 40mm watch would. The lug to lug is quite long. It's 48.37mm. So despite the fact that this is a 40mm watch, it might suit guys with bigger wrists just as well, because it's quite a long watch on the wrist. Now that's even though it has female end links here, but it's not uncomfortably wide. It's a more substantial watch than 40mm might suggest to you. Now the bracelet width, the lug width, is a very versatile 20mm. Now that's a good thing, as I'll explain in just a minute. Now, the faults of this watch. No watch is perfect, no matter how much you pay for it. Luxury brand fanboys or girls might differ on that statement, but this watch, as you might expect, is not without its issues, costing just £50. First, the lovely crystal. I know a lot of people love a domed crystal, but this one, as you can see here, is quite reflective. The watch is reasonably legible, but it's fair to say that it's easier to photograph indoors. Secondly, the lume. As is usual with this brand, Pagani Design, the lume is a bit of a letdown. It does shine up if you deliberately charge it with a torch or something, but it's not particularly bright, nor is it long lasting. Now, if you look here on the underside of the case, you can feel the finish is a bit sharp. You aren't going to hurt yourself or anything, and it's not uncomfortable to wear, but a little bit of extra finishing here and here would make it give it a more premium feel. Now, the reason it's a good idea to check out these or other YouTubers' reviews is that buying online can be a bit of a lottery, as far as the looks of the watch are concerned. Most traders, to be fair, even premium brands, don't show actual photos of the watch and rather use computer renders like this one. In the case of this watch, the sunburst dial is significantly different in the hand than in the advert. On the advertised image, the watch looks to have a bottle green dial with a fume effect. Now, fume effect is darkening towards the edge. Now, this has got a dark minute track, but darkening towards the edge. It's arguable in some light that the sunburst dial might look a bit like that, but basically it isn't the same. Now, the biggest issue here with the watch is the clasp. I had a lovely Cadison with a Jubilee bracelet, which had essentially the same clasp. The buttons here can be deployed by the movement of your wrist or shirt cuffs. This very watch has loosened itself accidentally just twice, but bear in mind it's possible. More serious but less likely is the mechanism here actually breaking. I'll show you here. There's a little plate on the back which is secured by 4 little spot welds. On my Cadison, this failed. This fell off. The little springs inside were lost, and good luck, you're never going to be able to fix that anyway. This isn't the best designed clasp. You might like an invisible butterfly clasp like this. You might think it looks quite elegant and nice. But from an engineering point of view, and I can tell you that the donor design by the premium brand does not take this approach, although everything else is essentially extremely similar. Another thing that might put some of you off is that the dial is a little bit static and lacking in animation, because the VK64 movement doesn't have a running seconds hand. Now, I've seen some reviews online where they cheat and they activate the chronograph, and they show people the watch with the chronograph running so that it looks like the watch is displaying a running seconds hand. Now, that's not the case, and that'll only work for 60 minutes. So it's only a 1 hour chronograph that you have here. That's the chronograph running, and there we are stopping it, and there's the reset snapping back into place. Now, before I go, I thought I'd show you the other dial choices available. These actually follow the ones that they sell with the donor design, except the donor design is a rather nicer burgundy red one which Pagani don't seem to offer just yet. As well as the green one I chose here, just for something a bit different. I don't have a lot of green dial watches. There is a sunburst blue dial, which is this button blue. There is a matte finish black dial here. Now, the matte finish black dial watch is different. It's a totally different sort of design. It has a sandwich style cutaway for the yellow aged lume on the indices. These mirror the dial options available on the donor design, as I mentioned, except Pagani don't offer a red one as yet. At least I haven't seen one. So this isn't a premium luxury watch, but it is very attractive and a well-specified watch for its really low price. If you can forgive the shameless imitation of an expensive mechanical chronograph, this admittedly more accurate quartz upstart does a fairly good job of being a very, very accurate, well-specced and attractive chronograph watch. Still, 99% of people out there in the wild will just see this for what it is, a nice watch. Watch people find this hard to believe, but civilians, most other folk, have a very limited ability to visually recognise brands, apart from probably Rolex Submariners. So, don't be put off by the shameless imitation of something phenomenally expensive. Till the next time, bye for now.